1 second. Oh, there's the flash right there. Try to get Samson's arms in the picture.
Man down, where you from? No, from your grandma stay on mine. This man city night run.
They probably got me down by the end of the song. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training my body and my mind, rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, depth limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integral Medical, presenting sponsor of Olympia 2023.
Man down, where you from? No, where you from? Your grandma stay on mine. This mad city I run.
if Pyrus and Crips all got along. They probably got me down by the end of the song. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training my body and my mind, rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, death limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integra Medica, present you sponsor of Olympia 2023.
Man down, where you from? Know where you from? Where your grandma stay, mine? This mad city I run.
If I rose and clips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Every time I'm in the street, I hear ya, ya, ya.
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training my body and my mind, rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, death limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integra Medica, present you sponsor of Olympia 2023.
Man down, where you from? Know where you from? Where your grandma stay, mine? This mad city I run.
If I rose and clips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Every time I'm in the street, I hear ya, ya, ya.
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training my body and my mind. Rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, depth limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integral Medical, presenting sponsor of Olympia 2023.
Man down, where you from? You know where you from? Where your grandma stayed, huh, man? This mad city I run.
If I rooms and trips, all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Every time I'm in the street, I hear ya, ya, ya.
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training, my body and my mind. Rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, depth limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integral Medical, presenting sponsor of Olympia 2023.
street, I hear yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am so confident because I do everything that I need to keep myself at the top of the food chain.
Mike Rashid putting down Taylor on the deck.
Training, my body and my mind. Rest, recovery, and fueling my engine with only the best. Trifecta.
Every creation reflects our commitment. Each one of our products represents a promise. We shape bodies and destinies. We sculpt dreams into reality. We rise standards, depth limits, and rise to the top of worldwide bodybuilding. Integral Medical, presenting sponsor of Olympia 2023.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. Bodybuilding's greatest tradition has returned to Orlando. On behalf of owner Jake Wood and under the direction of Olympia President Dan Solomon and producer Tamer Al-Gindi, Trifecta presents Joe Weider's Olympia Fitness Performance Weekend. Brought to you by NewTek and by Integral Medica. Welcome to the Olympia Press Conference presented by Wolfpack. Please welcome to the stage the voice of the Olympia, the voice of bodybuilding, Bob Cicherillo.
All right, how we doing, Orlando? Yeah. Great to be back once again, folks. Vegas last year, we're back in Orlando this year for the 59th edition of the Olympia. And as everybody knows, there's all kinds of storylines they're going to play out this weekend. You'll notice a little bit different look up here this year. We went with a little retro look of press conferences from years ago. So we got a little bit of old, but we got a little bit of new coming with that. We'll get into that in just a little bit, but I want to thank all the fans for coming out here today, and of course welcome our pay-per-view audience from around the world. All eyes are on Orlando, folks. We got the dignitaries here today. I'm pretty sure our President Jim Manion is out here someplace. Where's Jim? Where's Jim? Hey, there's Jim Manion, folks, your IFBB president. And Jim, I couldn't help but notice, but since we were in Vegas last year, nobody has seen Chris Angel. I don't know if you know anything about that, but somehow he's disappeared. Not saying you're involved, I'm just saying nobody has seen him, but you could be capable. I don't know. You could be capable. I'm just saying. Speaking of dignitaries, folks, you can't have an Olympia without your head judge. This is your head judge for the Olympia, Steve Weinberger. And you can't have an Olympia without somebody who owns the Olympia. And, of course, he is the biggest promoter in the world, literally and figuratively. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Wood. And speaking of the old and the new, if you were here 10, 12, 15 years ago, I was up here with my buddy Dan Solomon, now the president of the Olympia. So he's moved up a few levels into the sport. But you know what? Dan's right down here. Dan, what's up, buddy? Dan, I'm getting the idea that you just can't sit down there and get anything said, because I was going to go to you for a couple things. But come on up here, Dan. No. Come on. Dan, come on up. Who wants to see Dan Solomon on stage? Right there. President, Chief Olympia Officer, and that's hey, who do I got to know to get a jacket like that? That's what I want to know. Jake, can I get? Did they make these in a 3X? That's nice, bro. I like it. Look at that. Man, pays to be the president. Dan, you know, it's always great to have you up here, bro, because many, many years ago, you and I did the press conference back in the days of PBW, before all the podcasts started appearing and all that. It was you and I doing a weekly bodybuilding show, and then we found ourselves here at the Olympia on stage. So welcome back to your stage, my brother.
You know, you just broke the rule. You're never supposed to give up the microphone.
That's you.
Yeah. Those are some fun times. It's the sport has really transformed in so many ways since those days. But I'm glad, actually, you did bring me up, because there's one thing that I want to point out. I know a lot of you guys come here year in and year out. It's part of your annual tradition, your routine. And time really does go by fast, because I don't even know if you're aware of this, but I was told recently that this year marks your 20th year as the voice of the Olympia. So give it up for Bob Ciccarello's 20 years. I'll just say, and by the way, you've done such a great job of bringing a polish to the podium, making the moments more meaningful, creating opportunities for the athletes to be spotlighted in the ways that are befitting of a world champion. I will also say that, because I want to go back and sit down, but just each and every day, one of the real perks of what I get to do is I get to talk to a few different people who really are just so devoted to all this, and spend each and every day trying to figure out ways to build audiences, create opportunities for the athletes. And one of those gentlemen you just recognized earlier, Jim Manion. And a lot of you guys haven't gotten a chance to know Jim the way that some of us have. And Jim, I just want to tell you, it's really a privilege and an honor for me each and every day to get to talk to you about ways to make this event bigger, to make events around the world grow, to create opportunities in new regions and new parts of the world. And especially when I see some of the things that are going on in and around the world, I know that this space, it represents something that we all unify behind. And the transformative power of physique transformation and being the best versions of ourselves, it's something that I know has a way of unifying all of us and giving us a nice way to remind each other of how much we love all of this and how important it is in our lives. So, Jim, I appreciate the opportunity to get to do that with you every day, and also to you, Jake. I will tell you that it is a dream of anybody's to get to have a boss who allows us to do the things that you allow us to do, Jake. We come to Jake with ideas. We come to Jake with new strategies, and Jake is always devoted and dedicated to tinkering and trying new things, and some things work, some things don't, but at the end of the day, in order to grow, you have to be willing to have the courage to try new things. And Jake, the opportunity to work with you is a privilege that never gets lost on me and any of us, so we appreciate you very much. So give it up for Jake Wood. And Bob, if it's okay with you, I'm going to give it back to you. I want you to fill everybody in on the new version of this press conference, the new format, because this year we're doing things a little different.
All right. All right. Thank you, Dan. Oh.
I got to give the merch people some props. Olympia Apparel, they just came out with a whole new line of jackets. They gave this jacket to me, and the price that I had to pay was I had to do this. So here's the commercial. Go to the Olympia Apparel booth, load up on this stuff. They've come out with so many new items, jackets and shirts and all kinds of cool stuff. So get on over there and load up on Olympia gear. Thanks, guys.
All right. Dan is showing off the newest Olympia jacket, folks. You'll notice the gold foil with black exterior. It's an extra large, but he actually sews in double extra large into it afterwards. All right, some great apparel. And folks, it's a who's who, so I can't announce everybody that's here. Big shout out to my man, Tim Wilkins, right down here in the front. He's your Olympia amateur MC throughout the weekend. Been a great job the other night, Tim. And folks, with that, we do have a brand new format. We have a celebrity panel here for you here today. So to introduce our celebrity panel, Sid, take it away. Oh, we're going to bring the athletes out first. Sorry, folks, it's my first show.
Go.
First, we got to get some athletes on stage. Folks, we've got a great lineup for you here today, I should say. And we're going to get introduced to our athletes here at the Olympia. Sid, take that away.
Let's go. From the 212 division, the reigning Texas Pro Champion, once a superstar in classic physique, he has now established himself as one of the top 212 bodybuilders and one of the top threats for the 212 Olympia title. Please welcome from the United States, Keon Pearson. From the 212 division, he is your reigning 212 Olympia champion and an overall two-time champion of the division. He won his first 212 Olympia crown right here in Orlando in 2020. Please welcome from the United States, Sean the Giant Killer Clarida. Our first Miss Olympia hopeful is your reigning New York Pro Champion. Please welcome from Russia, Natalia Kovaleva. Yep. Our next competitor clinched her first Olympia berth last year by way of winning the Chicago Pro. She would finish runner-up in her debut Olympia appearance and a runner-up finish at this year's Rising Phoenix World Championships. Please welcome Angie Yo. Our final competitor is your reigning three-time Miss Olympia and current four-time Rising Phoenix World Champion. She is the undisputed face of the women's bodybuilding division. Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Andrea Shaw. From the fitness division, our first competitor might be one of the true wild cards of Olympia weekend, winning the fitness title at the Legions Pro and delivering a routine that many are saying is one of the best they have ever seen. This Olympia weekend, get your popcorn out. Please welcome, by way of Canada, making her Olympia debut, Taylor Learmont. Our next competitor is a two-time Fitness International champion. Our next competitor is a three-time Fitness Olympia champion, winner of 2018, 2019, and 2021 Fitness Olympia title. Please welcome from the United States, Whitney Jones. Our next competitor is a two-time Fitness International champion known for her stunning Terminator fitness routine. Please welcome Ariel Kazar. Our next competitor is the most decorated champion of the fitness division, winner of 4 Olympia titles and 10 consecutive Arnold Classic titles. Please welcome, by way of Russia, Oksana Grishina. Our final competitor is your reigning Fitness Olympia champion and winner of 2 of the last 3 Fitness Olympia titles. She is also a 2-time Fitness International champion. Please welcome Missy Truscott. Our first competitor from the bikini division is the reigning 2-time Miss Bikini International champion and winner of 8 IFBB Pro shows. Please welcome, by way of Quebec, Canada, Laurelie Chapados. Our next competitor is your 2019 Bikini Olympia champion and winner of a staggering 15 IFBB Pro contests. Please welcome, by way of Brazil, Isa Puccini. Our next competitor won the Bikini Olympia title in 2021, also collecting gold at the Bikini International the same year. Please welcome a 4-time IFBB Pro champion by way of Canada, Jennifer Dory. Our next competitor is one of the greatest to ever grace the Bikini Olympia stage, the only 3-time Bikini Olympia champion in the division's history. She features a record of 37 IFBB Pro victories. Please welcome Ashley Holtzwasser. Our final competitor is your reigning Bikini Olympia champion with 5 IFBB Pro victories to her name. She hails from Norway by way of the Philippines. Please welcome Maureen Blanquisco. From the figure division, our first competitor is one of the most dominant players in the figure division, having amassed a staggering 20 pro wins and is fresh off winning gold at the Master Olympia after successfully defending her crown at the Texas Pro. By way of Puerto Rico, Jessica Reyes Padilla. Our final competitor is arguably one of the greatest to set foot on an Olympia stage. Winner of 5 straight Figure Olympia titles, 6 Figure Olympia titles. She has 2 Figure International titles and 2 Rising Phoenix World Championship titles to her name. She is the winningest Figure Olympia champion. Please welcome Sydney Gillen. From the Classic Physique division, our first competitor comes to us from Brazil. He finished runner-up last year in only his 2nd Classic Physique Olympia appearance. He is your reigning Arnold Classic Physique champion. Please welcome Ramon Rocha Quiroz, a.k.a. Ramondino. Our next competitor has established himself among the elite of the Classic Physique division while entertaining audiences with his electrifying dance moves. He is a 3-time IFBB Pro show winner, a product of German engineering. Please welcome Urs, the Miracle Bear Kalasinski. Our next competitor is the Classic Physique Olympia division's first ever 2-time champion, winning the title in 2017 and 2018. He would also win the first ever Classic Physique title at the Arnold Classic in 2018. Please welcome from the United States, Brian Ansley. Our final competitor is your reigning 4-time Classic Physique Olympia champion who has transcended worldwide popularity and has amassed 20 million followers on Instagram. He is the undisputed face of the Classic Physique division. Please welcome from Canada, Chris Bumstead.
Kicking the door.
All you heard was our gold, no more. Chicken
From the men's physique division, our first competitor turns the men's physique division on its ear just 3 weeks ago, winning the men's physique title at the Legion Sports Fest in spectacular fashion over reigning men's physique Olympia champion Aaron Banks. What does that mean for this Olympia? That it is so on. Please welcome from the United States, Tyron Holden. Our first men's physique Olympia champion is a three-time champion, having won the title in 2018, 2020, and 2021 from the United States. Please welcome Brandon Hendrickson. Our next competitor, the only four-time champion of the men's physique Olympia title, is making his first appearance on the Olympia stage since 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, he is back. Please welcome the comeback kid from the United States, Jeremy Buendia. Our final competitor is your reigning men's physique Olympia champion and a two-time Arnold Classic champion. Please welcome from the United States, Aaron Banks. From the women's physique division, our first competitor has been crowned women's physique Olympia champion twice, both times right here in Orlando. Please welcome from the United States, Sarah Villegas. Our next competitor is your reigning women's physique Olympia champion and has 15 women's physique IFBB Pro victories to her name. Please welcome from the United States by way of Brazil, Natalia Abraham Coelho. From the wheelchair division, this representative is the most decorated wheelchair bodybuilder in the division's history. Winner of 22 pro shows, 6 Arnold Classic titles. He is your 5-time defending wheelchair Olympia champion. Please welcome from the United States, Harold King Kong Kelly. From the wellness division, our first competitor finished runner-up at last year's Wellness Olympia. She won the Wellness International in 2022. Please welcome by way of Brazil, Isa Pereira Nunes. Our next competitor is the reigning two-time Olympia champion and to date the only champion of the Wellness Olympia. Please welcome from Brazil, Franciele Matos. And now to meet the big boys, your Mr. Olympia competitors. First, your reigning Arnold Classic champion. Our next competitor cracked the Olympia top 6 for the first time last year in Las Vegas. Please welcome the Nigerian Lion by way of the United Kingdom, Samson Dauda. Our next competitor made his Mr. Olympia debut in sensational fashion last year. Placing second, only 1 year after winning the 212 Olympia title, he is a former Mr. USA. Please welcome from the United States, Derek Lunsford. Our final competitor is your reigning Mr. Olympia, a man who made history last year by becoming the first Iranian bodybuilder to hoist the Sandow Trophy, setting off celebrations across his native Iran. He is the Persian Wolf, hungry for a second straight Olympia title. Please welcome, all the way from Iran, Mr. Olympia, Hade Choopan.
All right, thank you, Sid. Folks, how about a big hand for your 2023 Olympia lineup? Folks, as you're seeing the best of the best unfold on stage here at the press conference, the judges are certainly going to have their work cut out for them here today. You met your head judge, Steve Weinberger, earlier. Want to give a shout out to Sandy Williamson. I don't know if she's here today, but definitely in the building somewhere. And ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause for your IFBB Vice President and Head Judge here at the Olympia, Tyler Mannion. Folks, I want to give a special shout out to my main man, Martine. He's also celebrating 20 years on the Olympia stage with me this year. He's in the back, and he's the technical director, puts all this stuff together. And his right-hand man is right down here is your Olympia producer. Big hand for Tamer El-Gindi. All right, folks, well, as I said at the top of the show, we've got a little bit of old and a little bit of new mixed in here today, and that's just not the athletes, but the format. Normally, it's either myself or DJ or other people we've had throughout the years asking the questions to our Olympians. This year, a celebrity panel. Sid, who is our celebrity panel this year?
Let's meet him. First, a former IFBB pro bodybuilder and the host of the Real Bodybuilding Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Fouad Abiad. Our next media member, one of the greatest of all time, and certainly one of the most opinionated members of the media. He's not opinionated, is he? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Hall of Famer, Sean Sugar Ray. The senior editor at Muscular Development Magazine and one of the most trusted journalists in all of bodybuilding. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ron Harris. The programming director and the host of Olympia TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tarek El-Gindi. Eight-time Miss Olympia and the host of FemFlex Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the legend, Linda Murray. Ladies and gentlemen, seven-time Mr. Olympia and the host of the official Olympia pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Phil the Kev He.
right, folks. Well, a celebrity panel this year. This will be very interesting to see the questions that come out for our athletes. Folks, before we move on, I want to give a couple of shout-outs. You're going to see a couple of empty spaces up here this year. First and foremost, I know there were some athletes that had some issues getting into the country, whether it be visa or otherwise. So Nathan Diash and some of the other athletes that weren't able to make it, our hearts go out to you. We know it's an international thing and politics get involved when it comes to countries, but we certainly wish that they could be here with us today. Speaking of which, Nick Walker unfortunately had to pull out of the show. Where's Big Nick? Did he make it to the press conference? No Nick. We did invite him actually to come if he wanted to, but Nick, being the professional that he is, said that he wanted it to be about the athletes that were competing. And since he was out of the show, he wanted to wish them their best, but said, it's not about me, it's about them. But big shout out to the mutant Nick Walker. We wish him a speedy recovery. As everybody's seen on social media, and he's got a very big following, he tore a hamstring, and it was going to keep him off the stage. And so it was best that he just sit this one out. Also, folks, I want to address some rumors that were going around earlier. You're going to see an omission on stage that former Olympia champ Brandon Curry is not with us today. He was feeling a little bit under the weather. He was actually getting some treatment, so it was unclear whether he was going to be able to compete. It doesn't look like it's going to work out for him this year, but of course we wish Brandon a speedy recovery. Also, he will be here this weekend in attendance, so be sure to visit him as you get yourself around the expo, and all the other IFBB superstars in attendance. So big shout out to that. But right now, folks, we've got some celebrity panel down here in front, and let's see. We got some great questions that are going to be coming up for our champs. Tarek El-Guindy, let's start with you. Host of Olympia TV and, of course, Primetime Muscle with Tim Wilkins right behind him. Tarek, your first question, sir.
I'm going to start with the Mr. Olympia, Hadi Choopan. There's a lot of expectations. Derek Lunsford is on the rise. Samson Dauda won the Arnold Classic. And there's a lot of hype on those two guys. And my question to Hadi is, what does he have to say about the people that think he's not going to repeat the title?
به نام خدا سلام عرض میکنم خدمت همه عزیزانی که اینجا هستن. خوشحالم که اینجا و با شما رو میبینم. همونجور که میدونید توی قانون جنگل که بریم فیل‌ها گنده هستن اما شکارچی نیستن. شیرها هم ابهت دارن اما همیشه همسراشون براشون شکار میکنن. اما یه گرگ همیشه درنده و شکارچیه. شما با یه شکارچی رو فردا و پس فردا خواهیم دید.
He said, first I want to greet all the fans, all the audience here, and the Olympia organization for having me here. And second, he says I'm a wolf, and I'm here to do the hunting, so I don't scare of any lions or elephants.
He is indeed a wolf, but is he a wolf in sheep's clothing, Derek Lunsford?
Listen, you have to respect the champion, of course, you know, so he's a fighter, you know, he makes me work harder and brings the best out of me, and I'm here to show a much improved version of myself. This year is 2.0 version.
Derek 2.0, that should be something to see. That's for sure. Fuad Abiad.
Yes, sir, Bob. My question's for Samson. Hey.
Well, that's a surprise.
Stay out of this. Samson, you have a rubber match of sorts with Nick Walker, and him being out of the show. You know, he beat you at the Olympia, you beat him at the Arnold, and people were kind of waiting to see that third matchup. So what does it mean to you that Nick is not able to compete? Is it a sore spot for you that you're not able to get to go up against him again this year?
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you guys for having me here and for all of you guys for being here. It means a lot to see so many people support this sport. It's such a great thing to see, and I really want to say thank you, each and every one of you, for supporting this sport the way you do. To Fuad and your question, I mean, honestly, me and Nick have gone way back. You know, I remember when he won the Arnold, and I messaged him and I asked him, look, do you want to have a training session? And he called me all the way from Tampa, and I tried all the way from London to just come train with me. He showed me how to train my back. Nick has always been a great support to me, and that was just over just a year ago. And I was so looking forward to having him on stage and us sharing the stage again together this weekend. And to find out the news of what happened to him, it's a sore spot, man. It makes me feel really hurt. And honestly, I truly wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope we get to do this again real soon. So Nick, if you're out there, I'm praying for you, buddy. Get well soon.
Well, Samson, you're a name that's certainly been at the front of the Olympia predictions this year from not only our celebrity experts, and of course experts around the world, and we know there's a whole bunch of them. They say you got the size, you got the shape, you got the symmetry, but you've got to have the conditioning. I asked your buddy Fouad earlier, how's he look? Fouad said, I don't know. He hasn't sent me any pictures. So the question is, do you have the conditioning?
Well, as you guys can see through my history, I have a thing of shocking people every time I walk up on stage. And I have a very good thing of transforming my physique in a very, very short time. So we're going to see the surprise tomorrow. Don't worry about that.
All right. Linda Murray, you've been on the stage a few times.
Yes, I have.
8-time Olympia champion.
Yes, yes.
Greatest of all time. You've heard it all, Linda. Who's your question for here today?
Of course, my first question is for our champion. 4 times Rising Phoenix champion, 3 times Ms. Olympia, on her way to defending it the 4th time. So this question is to you, Andrea. We spoke yesterday briefly about your second Olympia being the challenging one, and you've gotten through that now. You're now on your way to defending that 4th. Do you consider, now that you have the time, are you a role model? Is that a responsibility for all of the athletes?
It's a heavy responsibility, but it's one that I know I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a duty that every time we start prep, it's something that becomes a part of my list of things to keep in mind for the tough days that I signed up for this. God created the opportunity for me to do this, and you do it with grace and do it with a smile, because you never know who you're going to be inspiring. But it doesn't make it any easier, but it does keep me aware.
Yes, because with us, we've had women bodybuilders, we've had ups and downs, and now you're in that position. In the beginning, I'm sure you're not really thinking about being a role model. You're trying to take care of business, and you do it with every Olympia. But I've heard people say that that's not their job, you know.
But it is.
But it is.
Once you have this title, or once you grace that Olympia stage, you absolutely have that obligation. And I spoke with you yesterday too about being mindful of the amateurs that are coming through. I was watching, so I got a chance to look at some of the amateur ladies yesterday. I follow their journeys because, again, I'm a role model. And I think that when you are in love with this sport to your heart, you take it very, very seriously about helping to groom whomever may be the next Miss Olympia.
Yeah, great question.
All right, Angela Yo. Yo. You almost had her, man. You were there. I was there in the front row with the Rising Phoenix. You were right there. You had the brass ring in your finger. Andrea Shaw came in. She looked great. People were saying, wait a minute, not so fast here. Angela looks pretty good. Did you think you had her?
I am extremely proud of what I brought. If anybody had seen the side-by-sides from last Olympia to the Rising Phoenix, it was measurable. I'm extremely proud of what I brought, yeah.
Well, you got close, but you got you at the end. But here we are. It's a new day. It's a new show, and it's the Olympia. Can you put an end to the streak and the drive for 8?
Nobody trains for second place. And the truth is, I have some things that you don't have. I've got some strengths that you don't have. So I'm willing to put that all out in front of everybody to make this competition one of the most exciting women's Olympia competitions that have come thus far. And I want everyone to be there Friday night to see what happens. And no matter what, I'm going to be cheering for you the loudest. I will.
Linda Murray, we got not only two champs returning first and second last year, but it looks like we got some new blood on the stage in Natalia Kovaleva, winner of Steve Weinberger's New York show this past year, established herself as a contender.
So, Natalia, this is your first Olympia. We talked in the beginning about your dreams of stepping on the Olympia stage. You got here by winning the New York Pro. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for Olympia stage. Thank you so much, Linda.
All right, short and sweet. What do you think? Can you beat these two?
Well, I have...
what do you have that they don't have? She just said she's got stuff she don't have, you don't have. What do you have that they don't have?
Wait. For me, women's bodybuilding, it's open class, it's size. So size matter. And girls.
Yeah, she was.
And I have size. This is my strong side. So
yeah, she showed her.
Be prepared.
She showed her strong side at the Olympia battle. She was pushing the ladies to do heavyweight, more reps.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we can't wait to see this one on Friday. That's for sure. Ron Harris, Muscular Development Magazine. Ron, after all these years, you finally get to ask a question.
Yeah, it took 32 years, but here
we're pacing ourselves, you know.
So my question is for the Giant Killer, Sean Clarita, our 212 Olympia champion. Sean, you have had a very, very busy 2023. You became a dad. You moved from New Jersey to Texas. Then a couple weeks ago, I see you building a new gym in Texas. A couple days ago, you dropped a sneaker line. You know, most guys trying to defend an Olympia title that I know in the past, they try to really just hide away, focus 100% on prep, their meals, their training, their cardio, and they can't have any distractions. Others thrive on staying very, very busy. It seems like that's you. So how have you been able to balance all these outside projects and life changes with defending the biggest title in the sport?
Yeah, it's been a very busy year for myself and my family. Like you said, that I strive off of just kind of keep myself busy, not thinking about food and things like that. But at the same time, I got to realize that I'm getting a little bit older and bodybuilding isn't forever. And I got a beautiful baby girl over there that's counting on me to make sure her future is set. So yeah, we have a gym we're building. It'll be done on January 1st. My sneaker line is dropping in a couple of months. So, but at the same time, I am focused on getting number 3 this weekend. That's for sure. I got you, Flex.
All right, Keon Pearson, right next to the Giant Killer, has established himself as a big-time contender here this year, and a huge difference for anybody that saw your physique from last year to this year. Are the changes enough to give the Giant Killer a run for his money?
Friday night tomorrow, or Friday morning pre-judging, you guys are going to see a Keon 2.0, something you haven't seen from me yet. I worked my ass off for 26 weeks for this. And I'm really, really excited so you guys can see the new changes. I'm very confident. My mental state is 100%. Physically, I'm ready. I'm just ready to showcase this hard work tomorrow. And you guys are going to see it and appreciate it a lot.
All right, back down. Fuad, you got a follow-up, sir?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Sean, because I saw a video today where Branch said that Sean was the pound-for-pound best bodybuilder on earth. I want to know if Sean agrees with that statement.
I don't need to agree or disagree with it. I just kind of do my thing and let people kind of make their decision what they want to say. But honestly, I mean, I'm not the biggest, but bodybuilding is about being the biggest, right? So I'll be the most complete athlete. I just weighed in today. I was about 185, 186, about 4 or 5 pounds up from last year. But don't get it twisted. I am in shape, and I will be ready.
All right, sometimes it ain't about being the biggest, it's about being the best, and we have one of the best here. He is Hall of Famer Sugar Sean Ray.
My question's for...
Sean, keep it short.
Yeah. Wow. Shorts behind you. 2.0, Sean. Derek, you won the USA's, you won the 212, and then you went and guest post for Jim Mannion, and everybody saw you coming at that stage. We saw you in the off season, bigger, bulkier, chunkier, and everyone especially me, was telling you to go in the Open Olympia, and you went in there and you came this close to knocking off Big Hottie. What have you done differently to try to get that title because you're so close?
Well, I got the feedback from last year on why I took second place, because there were first place votes. It was very, very close. You know, by a coin toss, it could have went either way. But, you know, he had the victory last year. I took the feedback and the critiques on what I needed to do to my physique, and I just went back to the drawing board, and I went back to the gym, and I trained hard all year. I worked with my coach, Hani Rambod. This is our third year working together, and he and our relationship in terms of coach-athlete and also our personal relationship has grown tremendously, so we understand each other better. He understands me, and he knows my body now much better, and I execute the plan. So, but at the end of the day, you have to have passion and love for this. You got to want to be in the gym, and you got to love this. So I live it every single day, and I just want to be the best, absolute best version of myself. So regardless of who I'm standing next to, I'm only focused on me, and the opportunity that I have to compete on this stage is a window of time in my life, and I want to make the absolute most of it. So.
All right. Seven-time Olympia champion, Phil Heath. Phil, I'm sure you got a whole myriad of questions, but you look like we got a couple empty spots up here, buddy, in case you want to.
The reason why I'm standing up is because I can't just be sitting in the seat next to Sean.
Well, Sean takes up a lot of room, you know. I mean.
But one of the things that I've noticed this entire time is that no one is staring at that. What you all need to do is stare at that. You, especially you and you need to be staring at this. If you're not staring at this, why are we here? Think about it. So when you're asked these questions and stuff, there's names on that damn title. Every person who has won the Open is on that title. History is made here. So I got a real question. Hottie, is anyone else's name going to be on there? Or is it just going to be your name going to stay on there?
خب فیلس تو خودت چندین بار این قهرمانی رو تکرار کردی، میدونی حس من الان چیه و کامل بیشتر از خیلی‌ها که کارشناسی کردن میتونین منو درک بکنین. خیلی از قهرمانان یه دوربین گرفتن برای یوتیوب رفتن تمرین کردن، ولی من امسال تمام وقتمو گذاشتم برای استاندو تمرین کردم و امسال تکرارش میکنم.
Phyllis, you have done this before and you repeat this champion many times before, so you can understand my feeling. Maybe other people, they train and went and posted many videos on YouTube for YouTube, but I have been trained hard and try to improve myself, and I'll repeat it again for sure.
And since I'm still here, got another question and it's going to transition. Chris Bumstead. You're here to do what you've done before. Is it just another day at the office? I see that you have a gentleman next to you that you've trained, or Ursa's over there. You've allowed those moments in the gym. It's almost like you're luring them in. Young lions and all that stuff. But what I want to know is, are you here to just win this thing, or are you here to actually dominate this thing? Because there's a lot of people that believe that you can do it, and of course there's people next to you that think you can't.
I'm here for a few reasons. I would say I'm absolutely walking home with that trophy, but that's not the only reason I'm here this year. You know, this is my 5th time chasing after a title. I've been on the Olympia stage, been competing for 10 years, and if I've learned anything, it's that in the past I felt I've had to just shut down a lot, repress a lot, and just go into this performance mode to win the Olympia and just kind of like push everything aside. And this year, what I wanted my goal to be was up to be different. I wanted to feel the whole journey. I wanted to have fun training. I wanted to enjoy the process, feel the ups, feel the downs, not just numb them all out, so that when I show up here the week before the Olympia, I'm present, I'm happy, I'm excited to be here. I'm smiling, I'm chilling with my family, they're all here, and we're just having a good time, because that's really what it's about for me. I put in the work, I know these guys are fighting for second place, and I'm just here to have fun with it. So, it's gonna be a good year.
There we go. So now we gotta hear Dino.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we got a whole bunch of competitors here. Ramon Dino, if I get one more dinosaur sent to me in my email, by the way. Enough, people. I love Dino, okay? Great competitor. He's going to give Chris a good run for his money. And Urs has certainly established himself. So we got a great competition here. Breon is back, but let me stick with Chris just for a second. Chris, Sean Rennie says you're in the wrong division. You should be in the open. Your eyes should be on that, Sandow. You should be in that open. He thinks you got a legitimate shot, Sean. Is that right?
Chris knows. I told him 2-3 years ago he's in the wrong division, but he's doing what he's got to do.
I'm right where I belong.
Gotta go to the girl.
Now, you're where you belong right now, but let's just hypothetically say you do win 5. And you've said many times you don't know how many years you got left, but you still got some gas in the tank. Would you consider, if you were to win 5, would you consider hanging him up on the Olympia stage, but only temporarily, only to grab a different pair of trunks and give that Sandow a shot?
Sorry, it kind of blurred out. Like, on Saturday, would I do it?
No, not in the same weekend, Chris.
I'll do it this weekend.
I mean, listen, I know you're an overachiever, but
there.
It might be a little bit much.
Open.
Although that would be cool, Phil, you know. But no, like hypothetically, like you say, okay, 5's enough. I'm retiring from Classic, but I'll be back next year, and I'm going for that.
I don't know if you're trying to excite the crowd or get these guys' hopes up, but I don't think so.
Yeah, so. Well, Urs Kalasinski says that you ain't even going to get 5. He's going to put an end to that right here, right now, this year. Enjoy your 4. I know he loves you like a brother, but it's time to move on. Urs is a miracle bear. Can it happen? Will it happen?
We all know everything can happen in this world, especially nowadays, but we're going to find it out on Saturday evening, huh?
You got to get past Dino before you can get to C-Bum.
I know he don't understand me when I say it in English, so I say it in Portuguese. Cuidado, tô chegando.
Fuad, I'm sure you got a whole bunch of follow-ups going through that head right now.
No, actually, you asked the question I was going to ask is, Urs said that he put on 15 pounds since his last attempt at beating Chris. And Chris says it's going to kind of be, it sounds like he's saying it's going to be a walk in the park. So I don't know, Urs, you trained with him. Did you see anything when you were training with him that gave you an idea that you could surpass him this year?
Yeah, so definitely that he's getting older. So I knew I invested a lot the last year. I trained my ass off over there in cold-ass Germany in the bunker. And he has a great gym, sunny weather, so I knew I worked my ass off. No, but beside that, it's always good to train with those other competitors. That's always the reason why I fly in the US a bit earlier. Meet those guys. I also came over to Brazil and trained with Ramon. So I think it's good to push each other in a certain way, and also don't forget the fun. And it's also funny at this level of bodybuilding, trust me. So it's a great sport, a great lifestyle, and everybody should join it and follow it.
All right, thank you, Urs. Tarek El Guindy, you catch more flack than anybody being from Brazil. Ramon Dino's a superstar over there.
Ramon is a superstar in Brazil. I'm going to ask this question real quick in Portuguese, and then I'll translate. When he responds, I'll translate really quick to the audience. Ramon, Você é um ídolo no Brasil, mas o povo brasileiro talvez fala que você não está pousando tão agressivo, que você escondeu o shape durante a sua preparação. O que você acha disso? I asked him, he's a hero in Brazil, but a lot of people are being critical that he didn't show any pictures and that he maybe doesn't pose as aggressively. What does he have to say about this?
Então, isso foi simplesmente não te chama nem de estratégia, mas uma coisa que eu quis fazer mesmo, esconder mesmo e mostrar ou não vai fazer diferença alguma, que o que importa é o que a gente apresenta no final e o que vai surpreender eles no final é o que eu fiz o ano todo, entendeu? Tá escondidinho aqui para eles.
He said, it doesn't matter what the pictures show. It's not a strategy. I'm only concerned about what I'm going to show on stage.
All right. Thank you, Ramon. Glenda Murray.
So this question is about a comeback. There are only a few athletes on this stage that have won the Olympia, had to defend the title, then lost the title, and then had to come back. So I think of Sarah Villegas. I know Whitney and Oksana, you guys, injuries or some health issues, and you guys have to go up against Missy. And then when I think of, and Sean Clarita, also Jennifer Dory. So I'm going to start with Sarah Villegas.
Over this way.
Yes, Sarah. So Sarah, you've done all four. You 2 times Miss Olympia, you won that Miss Olympia, you had to defend the Olympia, and then you had to, come back. Now you're coming back. So tell me about the comeback. And because I know Natalia, she's serious here and fierce. So tell me about your comeback. Tell me about that journey in all 4 phases.
You know, bodybuilding, like you mentioned, it is a journey. Many of us on this stage have been competing and doing this for 10 plus years. This year will be my 6th Olympia, and in that time, I've had the wonderful blessing of holding 2 silver medals and 2 gold medals, and hopefully this weekend will be the 3rd. So this, this whole process is a journey of ups and downs, and like I said, I'm blessed in my case to have many more ups than downs. The first Olympia title was obviously, you finally attain that dream that we all have been working for, and all of us are up here chasing. And to come back and to defend that, of course, was just a really, really good feeling of confidence of knowing that what you're doing is working. And last year, things didn't go my way, but as the great author Mary Pickford says, our failure is not defined by the fall, it's by the staying down. So after last year, I just went right back into the gym, went right back to work, took all the feedback that I needed to, and this year I am coming back stronger than ever. It's been a wonderful process. I am very proud of all of the work that I've put in this past year, all of the improvements that I've made, all of the picking apart of my physique and my performance, and the total package. I'm, couldn't be more proud of what I'm bringing and what I've accomplished this past year, even before stepping on stage. So, like I said, this is just a dream with ups and downs, and I'm grateful that I've had so many more ups than downs.
Mm-hmm. Very good. What about Jennifer? Jennifer?
I agree with a lot of what Sarah said. For us in this sport of bodybuilding, anyone who has competed, we know there's always going to be ups and downs. You're probably going to lose a lot more times than you win in this sport. And I think taking those losses like a champion, that means learning from them, getting better, becoming a better athlete, a better person, and using those to drive you to work even harder, to come back even hungrier the next year and just really fuel your fire in the gym and every single day so you can give your all-time best, and you do what you can, and we leave the rest up to the judges. It's all in God's hands. So, you know, for me this year, coming back, like I said, I'm just as hungry as I was last year when I won the title. And I'm excited to show off what I'm going to be able to bring on stage Saturday. I took the feedback, and we'll see what the judges think.
Great.
Well, the times have certainly changed, folks, from years ago when it was a feat in itself that Jay Cutler was able to lose the title and then win it back against the great Ronnie Coleman. John Clarita lost the title and won it back. But you've got multiple Olympia champs here. Ashley is a former champ, trying to get it back. Jen trying to get it back. Issa trying to get it back. You can go right down the line. You know, I'm going there, Jake. I'm going that way. You got Breon Ansley trying to get it back. Jeremy Buendia is coming back, four-time Olympia champ. Brandon Hendrickson is trying to get the title back. Aaron Banks still has the title, but he lost the last show to Kyron Holden over here, who's trying to get that title for the first time, and that's where I want to go right now. Kyron Holden, you did something that we haven't seen since, somebody historians correct me, since Gunther beat Ronnie in the GNC Show of Strength some years ago. Is that right, sir?
That is correct. Bob, I'm sorry. I've been burning to ask this question. Missy Truscott, you are the current champion. You went to Arizona, and you did Olympia battle with Whitney Jones. Actually, the voting had you winning that. And after Olympia battle, Whitney Jones said, Tarek, I'm letting her have fun at the Olympia. I'm going to put an end to her title. What do you have to say to Whitney Jones?
So I put a lot of work in this year. Took the Arnold off to strictly focus on Olympia, to make the improvements, to come with a better routine. So I'm really excited, and I have a lot of respect for Whitney. I know that we want the WWE hype and everything, but we all work very hard in the fitness division, and I have a lot of respect for all these women up here. Fitness is my favorite, and I'm just really excited to get on stage tomorrow and show you guys my routine and physique.
Well, let's see. Olympia champ, Arnold champ, Olympia champ, Olympia champ. Who's the new girl? This is Taylor Learmont. She won the Legion in grand fashion this year with a routine that absolutely set the place on fire. Got a huge following on social media. Yes, I do check social media. And welcome to you. This is your first Olympia.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. It's something that I never even thought would happen. So to be alongside everyone here is insane to me.
Well, I was there at the Legion, was able to call your win on stage, and I told you there, that's probably the best routine I've seen ever, possibly, on a IFBB fitness stage. It looks like you've got some training background. Did Bella Caroli train you for the Olympics, or what was going on here?
No, so my background's in gymnastics, dance, and cheerleading, and then I've combined them all to create this hybrid type style, and I have a lot of fun.
Well, she's here to have fun. Wait till you see this routine. It's going to knock your socks off, folks, but welcome to the Olympia, Taylor.
Thank you so much.
Now, these girls, unfortunately, are going to be trying to beat you into oblivion in your first Olympia, but that's what they're supposed to do. Whitney Jones, you guys, we saw some great video footage, courtesy of our good friend Tarek Elgini in the Olympia battles that was going on all year, but you've got the mic. A big statement there. Missy just said you had no chance of beating her on stage. I think that's what she just said.
Yeah.
something like words to that effect.
Yes. I'm ready. I mean, we talked about the comeback. That has been my title since I was a child, I feel like. I love it. I'm ready to battle. I've been working hard. I had to sit out last year, and that was a bummer, you know, to be involved and to be at the top. I didn't get to defend my title last year, so I've been working, and I'm ready, and I'm excited to step on that stage again. I love these girls that I'm with. We have a very close sisterhood. And Taylor, I'm so excited that she's here. She actually was one of the athletes in 2019 that I did a fitness sponsorship trying to, you know, we are always trying to grow the fitness division. And she was one of the athletes that won and introduced her to the fitness division. And to see her here today is like coming full circle. I love it. I'm so excited. And to be able to share the stage with her as well with all the champs. But, you know, again, we train to win. We are here to battle. Nobody trains for second place. And so tomorrow it's going down.
Now, speaking of great routines, Oksana, we've seen some of the most innovative and artistic routines. And you're a former Olympia champ yourself, so welcome back to the stage. I know you've had some injuries, as all the athletes have, but especially in your division, the hardest division that we have in the IFBB. Tough to combine both things, getting in contest shape with a world-class routine.
Yes, it's true. Well, this will be my 12th Olympia, except the previous one last year that I missed because of injury. And of course, it was so frustrated because you spend the whole year preparing for the show, diet, training, and when you got injury, that just proves that we are human beings. And yes, and I'm so excited this year to, to share my new performance and just to share my feelings, because now it's just such a difficult time worldwide, and I think this is the best place right now. This is the best place to be in the world. So I feel great, I feel warm. I just can't wait to see you all guys tomorrow. Please don't miss fitness, because all these girls are, and other girls who's backstage, they are amazing. And if you didn't get ticket, get it now. So thank you guys for your support. And yeah, I'm so excited to share my...
Thank you, Oksana. Ariel Kadar, all you did was win the Arnold this year. I know you're in a sea of Olympians here, but great routine, well-earned victory. Normally it puts you as the front runner to the Olympia title, with the exception you've got multiple Olympia winners here. But you got the goods. Can you finally get it?
Well, two-time Arnold Classic champion. Not only
I'd be remiss.
This year as well.
Hey, they're not easy to come by. Two-time Arnold champ.
I am unbelievably excited to be here, as I always am. This is my 7th Olympia. I have been doing this half my life. When I got my pro card at 17, I dreamed of being on this stage, having a microphone and talking to all of you guys, really. But the time is now. I'm the only one, well, we don't know who Taylor is, sorry. As I have respect for all of you girls, they've all won major shows. And when I came on the scene in my first Olympia, I didn't have this kind of open arms, but I'm grateful that she does, because I want to grow fitness, and this is what we want to do. We want to bring light to our division. But I'm ready to take the title this year, and I could care less who's here, and I could care less if every Olympia winner was up here right now. It's mine this year.
I like that.
Hey, Bob, she said she doesn't know who Taylor is? Is that correct,
She's going to know
Taylor?
who she is by the end of the show, trust me.
Taylor, what do you have to say about that? She doesn't know who you are. What do you have to say? Do you have anything to show for us?
You want to do a handstand or something, or what do you got, Taylor?
I can show a little something right now.
All right, all right.
Taylor, the stage is yours. Please don't fall off the front of it. We've got spotters in the front. Phil, make sure she don't go into the orchestra pit, will you? We got any music? What do we got? Oh, boy. Very nice, Taylor. Folks, just a note, if she does win, it will be by split decision.
Bob,
Thank you. I'm here all weekend.
This one's for Samson. Can you follow that up real quick for
Samson, you got anything you want to show, buddy?
Samson, I wanted to go to you because it's been about 26, 27 years. The title was over in England. It's a little bit different when you win the contest over here in America. We feel sometimes when you go to your own country, you're a little bit more respected. You get more love, like Hadi and Big Ramy. The country gets behind them. What would it mean to you to win that title and take it back over to England?
I mean, from England, we haven't had an Olympian champion since 1997. The Dorian Yates, the Shadow, the man himself. So you can only imagine how hungry we've been years after year watching it and not have someone to be at this position to be able to challenge for it. And I know the support I'm getting from all the people in the UK right now. And with that much support behind you, how can you not deliver? So tomorrow, I'm going to say it right now, this weekend, my name is going on that trophy.
I'll tell you what. When you got the name Sandow on that, the name of Samson, if you're going in history, is not a bad name. They had Sandow there. Fuad.
I'm just curious from Hadi. out of all the guys that he's going to be competing against this weekend, who impresses him the most? Who is he most worried about? And he can't say everybody. I need him to give me a name of somebody that he thinks is going to challenge the most for that title.
برای من هیچ وقت هیچ کسی احساس خطر نمیتونه بکنه، چون که من همه زحمت‌ها رو کشیدم، همه کارا رو هم پیش بردم، هیچ چیزی هم کم ندارم. این گفته‌ها همه امروز از تخیلات و ذهنیتیه که ما بدنسازا داریم به خودمون میگیریم، اما همه چیز روز مطابق روی سکو 100% تغییر میکنه. من روی سکو خودمو نشون میدم، ادعایی ندارم.
I'm not afraid of anyone here, so I cannot give you any name. And I did my best. I did work out really hard. I don't have any weakness, so I don't have any weak points. So, and I'm coming to defend my title, and I will win it for sure next time.
و شان تو همیشه کوچکتر از همه بودی روی سکو، چرا که همیشه دوم یا سوم میشدی. گندگی هیچ وقت روی سکو مثل المپیا دلیل نمیشه.
Sean Ray, usually you were the smallest person on the stage, but that doesn't mean.
بزرگی عضلات هیچ وقت روی سکو.
Size, it doesn't matter. So for sure, definition and other stuff.
باید زیبا باشی، کامل باشی.
You need to be static and complete.
ما بدنسازیم و قوی‌ترین مردان نیستیم که بخوام بریم وزن اضافه کنیم.
We're bodybuilder. We're not strong men, so to go and put a weight on.
و ما باید بدنسازی رو به زیبایی ببریم.
We need to drive the bodybuilding to the static and beautiful shapes.
اون کسی بیشترین زحمت رو کشیده که عضلاتش رو به اوج فیبر برسونه و رژیمش رو دقیق گرفته باشه. این نیست که فقط یه سایز بزرگی رو بیاری روی سکو و ادعا کنی من بزرگترم، من بهترم. تعداد عضلات رو بشناسی. من میتونم عضلات سینه‌ام از خیلی گنده ها بیشتر عضله دارن.
Being big and adding more size, it doesn't matter for bodybuilding, and being adding more fiber and more definition is the one who define who's going to be the champion.
خیلی ها کارشناسی کردن ولی نظر داوری تو کارشناسی خیلی فرق.
Many people, many experts, they put their opinion, but that doesn't matter for me because the judge's opinion is matter for me.
I got to follow
Thank
up,
you, Hadi.
Bob.
Hang on a second, Phil. Let me get down here because I've got two empty spots up here. Phil, I got one for you, but the guy behind you might want to take that other empty spot. Ladies and gentlemen, Dexter Jackson, former Olympia champion. Looking lean and mean, Dex. Lean and mean. I like it. Fuad.
Well, I just wanted to kind of follow up to Hadi there. He was talking about being complete and being shredded, but he's standing next to two guys in Samson and Derek that have extremely symmetrical aesthetic physiques. Does he think that will hurt him standing next to two guys small-waisted with beautiful symmetry?
All right. Fuad's question is, does the symmetry of Samson and Derek pose a problem for the champ? Apparently not.
گفتم که برای یه قهرمان وقتی میخواد پیشرفت بکنه من همه چیزو هدف میبینم ولی هیچ کسی رو مشکل ساز نمیبینم. هر مشکلی یه راه حلی داره. من البته این مشکل‌ها قبلا راه حلاشو کشیدم.
So every problem has a solution, and I found the solution for everything. So no one is going to be a problem for me because I found the solution to beat everyone here.
That's why he's the wolf, folks. The wolf, the bear, and these guys are animals.
Hey, Bob, I got a question for Jeremy Buendia.
Here we go.
It's him. Jeremy, you're trying to do something that some legendary bodybuilders have tried and failed. The comeback of Kevin Levrone, Flex Wheeler, several other bodybuilders coming back after some time off. Didn't materialize in terms of winning. Maybe the journey was something that they were trying to accomplish. Where are you at, and how you dealing with that mentally, coming back after that much time off?
I feel I'm in the best spot I've been in my entire life right now. I think a lot of people forget that I was in my early 20s when I won my first Olympia. When I lost my Olympia title, I was only 27 years old, and at that point in time in my life, I was still trying to figure out who I was and, what my role was in this life and my purpose. And, after I lost my title, I kind of lost my way for a while, made some poor choices, and spiraled out for a little while. And I found myself in a kind of a slump, in a hole for a couple of years that, it was very hard for me to get out of. And there's a reason why I didn't make my way back to this stage, because physically I've been dealing with injuries, but also the mental aspect of things, of dealing with my mental health and trying to be a better person. And not only... a few years ago, I got married and had a daughter. And, I'm 33 years old as of last week, and when you become a man, you have to start to take a look in the mirror and figure out what you want for yourself and your future. And when my daughter was born, I wasn't the man that I needed to be for my family. And those are some of the things that opened my eyes to the reality of where I was at in my life and what I had to do in order to be the man I needed to be. And one of the biggest things that helped bring me around and get me out of that hole was reestablishing my relationship and my faith in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And over this past year and going through this prep the past 9 months, it's been a series of obstacles and hurdles and a mental challenge, because at the beginning of this prep, I didn't believe I can do it. Physically, my body has been through a lot. Mentally, I wasn't in a good space, and from what everybody was telling me, that the division had outgrown me. And I had been told that I wasn't wanted back. And when you're getting told something over and over again, you start to believe it. And when you start to believe what other people put in your head, you start to lose sight of what your true self is. And that's something that over this prep, I've been able to, come into realization of what my purpose is here. Why am I coming back? What are the things I'm trying to learn and gain from this prep? And, what else I can do to, serve this world in a way that we're meant to. We have a purpose on this earth, and as everybody's seen the way our world is nowadays, good has to be put out there, and that's something I've been striving to do, is set a good example and show people through my actions, not my words, of what it is to make changes in your life. And that if you are going through a hard time in life and you're finding yourself in a slump that you can't pull yourself out of, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. There is opportunities, there is a redeemer, and there's a way of finding your way back out. And that's something that I've been able to do these past several months, is been able to rebuild myself from the inside out. And mentally, I'm the strongest I've ever been. And on Saturday, you're going to see me physically the strongest I've ever been.
Well, Jeremy, welcome back to the Olympia stage, brother. It's great to have you back here, and you look great from all the pictures and video I've seen. Adding to all that stress you were saying, the body wasn't responding, you had things going on, you got a family now. And then this guy blocks you on social media just to put the dagger in there.
He unblocked me.
Okay, all right, that's good. It's a loving family. Aaron Banks, you are Olympia champion. Aaron, you're all covered. You got gloves on. You shoveling the driveway when you get done, or what's going on here?
Well, see, last year, some of these people got me COVID and my kids COVID, so I'm not doing that this year. So I'm covered up.
It's gone. We ain't got to worry about that.
No,
Don't
it's
even
not.
mention it.
And no, it's not.
Thanks for jinxing us, by the way. But well, Aaron, the big question looming, all right, that's the elephant in the room, but I got to ask, of course, it's my job. Why on God's green earth would you put that title, so to say, up for grabs? You went in the Legion, you competed in a show, your man Kyron Holden beat you.
I wanted to grow my division, Again, I helped raise so much money for that show, teaming up with Chris and Christian Guzman, and, of course, challenging all the top 10, top 15 people to come compete at that show.
And Aaron, let me just interject. For those that don't know, Aaron decided to compete in the Legion show. That was about 3 weeks or a month ago.
4 weeks ago, yep.
He is the incumbent Olympia champ. So it's not normally done that the champ puts that up there to even put himself in a position. But to his credit, He raised a lot of money and brought a lot of money to the table for Chris Minnis and the Legion show. So he did build the purse by double.
Absolutely.
So
we made
nice job on that.
We made history, raised about $35,000 for the men's physique division.
And Kyron Holden says thank you.
My dog. He got the 20K. He got the 20K.
He got it. He got you, bro.
But I'm about to get that 60K.
Ah, there we go. Eye on the bigger prize. But the question is, does Kyron have your number now? He just beat you 3 weeks ago. Some of these same judges are going to be right here at the Olympia, brah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm bringing something totally different from 4 weeks ago.
I mean, totally different. Like 3 arms? Like, what do you mean you're bringing something totally different?
You going to see. You going to see.
You going to wear the gloves? That's a prop, by the way. You can't do that.
I might have to.
That's a prop. Jim Manuel will kick you out of the event. You'll be done, bro. I'm telling you. Don't get fined.
Absolutely, man.
Well, you're not without competition. Brandon Hendrickson, a lot of people thought he beat you last year for the Olympia title. It was very up in the air. Could have flipped a coin.
No, you thought he beat me last year. He didn't.
I'd be remiss if I didn't actually own that statement. I love what he brings. I like what all you guys bring.
Absolutely.
It was a great competition. It was so close. I mean, you could see it literally could have gone either way, but it did go your way, and you earned that, and he was the first one to give you props.
No, he didn't. He cried the whole year.
Oh, come on now. Come on, seriously.
He did.
Did he?
Ask him.
Brandon? There's no crying in bodybuilding.
Next question.
He knows that. Next question. Well, my next question is to Brand. Brand, were you whining about losing the title to this guy? Seriously?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know nothing about that.
Well, listen, you got the task in front of you, like our celebrity panel was saying. This is not an easy feat. It's not easy getting the title back. Nobody knows that better than Phil Heath, who put 7 in the bank and then did try to come back to equal that all-time great 8. And he'll be the first one to tell you it's not an easy feat, my friend.
It's not easy, but I've been here before. I'm the only men's physique Olympian that has been in these waters before, that has lost the title not only once but twice, and has regained it back twice. Yeah. I've never lost in Orlando, and I plan to win it again this weekend.
Yeah, I like that. Well, not that you needed more competition, but you got a 4-time Olympia champ coming out of retirement just for you. And you got Kyron Holden, who, again, has always been a contender, but all of a sudden he beats the champ. I know it's a different day, it's a different game, it's the Olympia, we get all that stuff, but Kyron, that's got to be sitting pretty good for you. I know you were real excited when that announcement came down, and you did it, man.
Absolutely. I just want to piggyback on what Jeremy said. He said something about purpose. I feel like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, right now I'm on a mission to fulfill my purpose. I think bodybuilding is a very spiritual and transformative sport inherently. I think there's a certain energy that is used to fuel people forward. There's a lot of animosity, a lot of aggression. I want to be that example that it can be done through a different kind of energy. I like to spread love, like to spread harmony, like to spread joy, and that's what I've been doing, and that's my mission. That's what I've been saying this entire time. I'm going to complete the mission on Saturday.
Well, can't wait to see these guys battling it out. Lenda Murray. Now, Lenda, the closest person to winning 8 titles on this stage is Sydney Gillen right up here.
Yep, and that's where my next question. Yes, so Sid, there are not a lot of us that have won 5 or 6 or 7 Olympias, and it gets harder and harder, especially when you have someone like Jessica Reyes Padilla, who just won the Olympia Masters, and she's been on fire this year. So tell me, how do you stay focused? Because I think, again, like our second Olympia, very challenging. But when we get past the 5th, we start to go back to that place of trying to shut the noise and stay in our lane. So how do you stay in your lane and get that 7th Olympia?
I think it's pretty easy for me. For most people know I do everything in silence, and I'm the queen of minding my own business. So if it's not paying my bills, it has nothing to do with me. So that helps a lot. And if everybody kept that same energy, your life would be so much better. So with that being said, this entire year, the second I stepped off stage after my 6th title, if you weren't working to beat me this year, the second I won, you're already behind, because I make sure that every year I show up for myself and make sure that I'm representing my coach to my best of my ability. Evogen to the best of my ability, and everybody who supports me and the people who support me to the best of my ability. In order to do that, I have to focus on myself, fine-tune those details, and be the person that every year, as everybody has seen, shows up consecutively, getting better and better every year. And that does get harder with every championship, but you have to have so much humility and objectivity to be like, hey, you're not perfect, pick yourself apart. But pick yourself so much apart that you still have that mental health where you're still sturdy and you're still confident, but you know that you can always be better. And when you know that you can always be better and you keep your humility, there's nothing better to do except just get better. So that's all I focus on this year is myself and making sure that I show up, and I will be bringing something new this year, as always.
Outstanding.
All right, I got a follow-up for Jessica Padilla. You've been on a tear lately, man. You've been winning everything. Then this Masters Olympia came back, and you says, you know what? I like that title. It's got a nice ring to it. The only thing that has to be better than a Masters title is the title.
Yes. Well, I'm pretty excited to be here, so thank you for the invitation. It's my first time in the press conference, and I'm truly blessed for all the years that I have been competing at the Olympia. And I have been learning year by year how to be a better athlete, and you just try to get better all the time. And I think that every time my focus is being on myself, like Sydney says, there's no other option but just working on the best version of yourself. I never have been training or trying to be anyone else but my best self, just because I could bring something new and different and give something, to the sport by bringing my own best and not trying to be imitating or being someone else. And I know that right now, year by year, I have been improving. I love to compete, so I do a lot of shows because that's my way to support also the industry and also learn about myself. And I have been doing better and better. I came from 6th place to 4th to 2nd. So I'm doing something right year by year. And one of the best things that I could do is I just do my work, do everything that I can, follow my coach instructions, and the rest, I leave it to God's hands. And I know that he got a purpose for everybody, and his time is always perfect. And I truly believe that this is my time to shine, because no matter the struggles that you could have in life, that makes you be a stronger person and a better person. And I think that this year it's been really amazing for me, not because I have improved and get better physically or as an athlete. It's just because God has been working on me inside out. So my way of thinking, it's different. The way that I feel is different. The way that I look, it's different, because I have that confidence that I didn't have before. And that's the thing that I needed I didn't have years before to show what I got. So
all right,
it's just one more day.
Can you get them both? Masters champ, and can you be Olympia champ at 34 years old? Can you do it?
And I have the best motivation by having both titles the same year I made history.
All right, well, that's going to unfold right here this weekend.
No.
Phil Heath.
Hey, Sid, for real? Did you guys see Sid's... Did you see her reaction? Anybody watching Sid's face when she was talking? Sid, you really got to just let us know, what were you thinking when she said all this stuff? And just be real about it. It could be one sentence. It could be one word. It could be two.
Everyone should believe in themselves.
That's very nice. Well, Phil, hang on, Phil. As long as you got the microphone, you know what it's about to dominate a division for the better part of a decade. Not an easy feat, my friend, but there were some years there you made it look real easy. We have a gentleman up here who's been doing just that. And he's actually been referred to as Phil Heath on wheels. It's Harold King Kong Kelly. Phil, what do you think, man? Nobody can touch this guy.
No, they really can't. I told him backstage, I was like, thank you for having me at your show. I mean, you just continue to win over and over and over and over again. I have to just ask the question that I've been asked every freaking year. What are we going to see tomorrow? What are we going to see? What are we going to feel this time around?
One moment with that, Phil, I want to say something before I lose track. First, I'm going to give honor to God for being here, first and foremost. And also, on top of that, on this right here, I just want to admit this, Harold Kelly, and say wheelchair. I just want to give an honor for allowing the wheelchair class to be on the stage because we watched this for so many years. So I want to thank y'all for having this class on the stage.
As it should be, Harold, right? I mean, we added wheelchairs some back. Big shout out to Nick Scott, our main man out there, our wheelchair chairman. He's been working hard all these years to elevate this sport.
Yes,
and, of course, to Dan Solomon and Jake Wood for making it happen and including all the divisions in here now. But back to that question. Phil knows what it's like to dominate, and so do you. Harold, there's no slowing down for you.
Well, man, Phil, studying you for one person and all the other bodybuilders is you always look at yourself and look at and see what you need to do for you. And I hear a lot of people asking about this person and what he has, what he's going to combat that person. You can never combat somebody else's anything what someone else has. The only thing you can control is yourself. And that's what I do. After the competition, like she said, after the competition, I go straight to the drawing board and figure out what I need to do to make myself better for next year. As Wyman, I asked him at the competition, after I won, I asked him what I need to do for next year to better myself. So that's what I asked myself. So I focus on better myself every year. And this year, just trying to better myself and going in my closet with my team and pray and give me wisdom to see what I need to do to make myself better. And that's all I focus on.
All right. Well, Harold, we can't wait to see you back on the stage again, my friend. How many are we at? I've lost track. Are you 5-time Olympia champ now?
Officially, it should be 6.
The reason he says that is we actually had it at the Olympia the first year, but it wasn't considered an Olympia title.
Right.
Correct? So I get it, but 5, 6, 7, whatever. Talk to Cindy about that. She knows all about 6, 7 titles. But all right, hang on. I got to take a quick. Okay, Ron Harris, MD Magazine.
What's up? So my question's for Derek Lunsford. A lot of the cranky old fans like myself say there's no camaraderie among these guys anymore. And they point to times in the past, like the pumping iron era, where there was like a dozen pros in the whole world. They all trained at the same gym. So, of course, there's going to be a lot more closer community. We're all over the world, scattered all over the place now. We saw something cool a few weeks ago. There were Evogen videos on Hani's channel where yourself and Hadi Choopan were training together. And a lot of people wouldn't understand how you guys can't have animosity toward each other, where you're trying to beat each other. You want the title. He wants to keep you from winning the title. But in those videos, you could see the mutual respect, admiration, pure camaraderie. So can you explain how camaraderie is well alive in 2023?
It absolutely is. I mean, that's part of what I fell in love with, what I was saying earlier about how passionate and how much love I have for bodybuilding, being in the gym and training, is to show up with other guys, other buddies, training partners that are equally passionate as you, whether they're an IFBB pro, Olympian or not. That's, like I said, part of what I fell in love with. So there absolutely is camaraderie in this sport, but at the same time, I'm not going to shy away and say, I'm here to make history this year. I've been on a mission all year to be the first 2-division Olympia champion here at the Mr. Olympia. I won the 212 a couple years ago. Now I'm in the Open, and I want to be the first 2-division Olympia champion and the number 18 Mr. Olympia. So, yeah, there absolutely is good camaraderie. I respect the champion, Hadi Choopan. You know, he's a phenomenal bodybuilder, a great champion, well-respected around the world, especially in his country. And he's bringing the best out of all of us amongst the rest of the competitors. So it's also what I love, too, is instead of looking at the competition as this, I look at it as more or less your competition is holding you accountable for you to be your best. So if you're wanting to slack one day, you're not wanting to go to the gym, then you think about your competition, well, they're going to go to the gym. They're going to do it. They're Olympians. They're the best in the world. So it gives you that extra oomph to get up and do the work.
All right. Hang on, Linda. I got to get to my girls back here because I've heard enough from these guys for a while. But the real competition's up here, folks, and that, of course, is in wellness. What's up, girls? All right. 2-time champ, Francielli. Welcome back to the Olympia. Welcome back to the press conference. The title's up for grabs. You got some new competition here.
Yeah.
This year I'm so happy, more than last year, because I improved my body in all the details. This was certainly the best preparation of my career. I took advantage each training day to do my best and to bring my best version to the Mr. Olympia. I'm very happy. I'm really happy.
Well, Isabel, you've established yourself as the #1 contender this year, but Francielli's tough, man. She's got 2 already, your first ever Wellness Olympia champ. What's it going to take to beat her?
Hey everyone, thanks for coming. I've been working hard for this moment. I did my best every single day. So I'm ready to the fight for the title.
Well, can't beat that. Battle of the Blondes, folks. We're going to see this unfold this weekend. Thank you, ladies. Linda Murray.
Yes. Oh, let's see. I have a question for Ashley Kaltwasser. Ashley, you've won more titles, I believe, than anyone on this stage. So you have a lot of experience. You're at the Olympia, the largest, biggest show in the world. Is this just another gig?
No, I still get all the feels as my first time on the Olympia stage, which, by the way, this is the 10-year anniversary of my very first Olympia victory. So, yeah, it's pretty special to me. But I do get the nerves, but I always say it's good to be nervous because it shows you care. And if you didn't care, you just be like, whatever, let's get this over with. But I get nervous, I get all the feels, and every time I step on stage, it truly does feel like it's my first time. So I get all that excitement all over again.
Thank you. Quick question for our Ms. Olympia bikini, Maureen. Maureen? So this year we have a large lineup. I don't know if we have like close to a little bit over 40 bikini pros on stage. Last year, so now you're defending the title. Last year, it seemed like it was a surprise. I mean, when they called out that last 5, and then it was Jennifer Dory and yourself, and then they asked, Bob announced you as the new Olympia champion. How does it feel to defend the title? No surprises.
First of all, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be my first conference, so I'm really happy to be here, and thank you for coming. So, as you saw in my reaction, right? So I'm a very realistic person. For me, I placed 9th in my first Olympia, 2019, and I had a break, and I placed 4th the next one. And I told myself, you know what? I want to crack the top 3. I'm very, very realistic with myself, and I knew every time I make a plan, I execute it, and I know I'm going to do it. So I didn't expect to win that year. I knew I can win the title, but I didn't know it was going to go fast. So I was really surprised that they called my name because did you see these girls? They look all amazing. We all I just work as hard as them. So for me, it was a surprise that it was early, but it wasn't a surprise that I can win the Olympia.
Laura Lee, I got a follow-up. So you were also surrounded by former Olympia champions. And while a top contender, you haven't had it yet. But we've seen single wins, very difficult to come back and win that title, especially when it comes to the bikini division. Is it your turn?
Thank you, Bob. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It's an honor. Thank you for the Mr. Olympia organization and obviously IFBB Pro League. Apart from having the honor of standing with Ms. Bikini Olympias with an S, the craziest part is every year I show up to that press conference. I think it's my 5th time now, and there's one more every time. So all of these girls have something that I don't have. It's a Olympia title. So I'm hungry. For me, the Arnold has been the redemption of the last Olympia. And I just put my head down, get in my zone, and worked. And I'm better. I feel the best I've ever been, and I'm calm and confident. So I'm excited for Saturday.
Well, we're excited too. And Issa Bacchini right next to you, also an Olympia champ. Issa, it's been a struggle to kind of get back to that top. You had a physique that the judges thought was worthy of an Olympia victory just a few short years ago. But then it just seems to be a balance of trying to find that right in-between look that they're looking for. Have you brought that balance back?
So now I think this year I get the feedback from the judge for a better balance for bikini. So I'm really happy with the work with my coach. And sometimes we need take a step back and see what is going wrong. And I did some changes here, and I'm really happy with the work I did this year, with the balance and feedback from the judges, and I'm excited for Saturday.
Well, if there's ever a tough balance to be had on any stage, let alone the Olympia stage, it's in the bikini division, because you need muscle, but you can't have too much muscle. Got to be conditioned, but you can't be too conditioned. So you can see where it's very difficult for these girls to find that middle line. And then, of course, the judges have an even more difficult time of picking a winner because they're all fantastic. But Tarek El-Guindi, you did some great Olympia battles this year, but the greatest, I think, hang on, Sean, we'll get to you. One of the greatest, I think, was between Sarah and Natalia. That seemed to play out the best. Probably got the biggest response out of the fan base out of that battle.
We actually had a round table, and Dennis James managed that brilliantly. But I wanted to ask Natalia Coelho, because during the Olympia battle, Sarah Viegas, she was showing her physique, and a lot of people were impressed. And Natalia was a bit shy. She said, well, I don't want to show my physique. And Sarah said, well, maybe she's not ready, Tarek. I just want to know if Natalia has anything to say about that and if she's ready right now.
Yes, I wasn't shy at all, but the time to show my package, my body, my physique, is on stage. So I was waiting for the right time to show my very best. I was still there, I was still fighting and doing everything that I was supposed to do at the Olympia battle. We had a lot of fun, it was very interesting with DJ, and that's what I was there for. You know, to train, to represent, to show how much I love the sport, not to show off my physique, because the show off is on stage.
All right, thank you, Natalia. Sugar Sean. Yeah, a lot of people saying Breon Ansley, who's on the stage here today, should be on the Olympia stage, but a lot of people thought he was going to be sitting over here with these two guys.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Breon, because there's a little confusion. Getting ready for the Olympia, originally it was going to go into the 212, and then switched up at the last minute. I call it the last minute because it was pretty recent, that you wanted to go back and try to recapture this very elusive title in the classic division. Any second thoughts on that? Because I thought the 212 might be like the next natural step for you to take, but you decided to stay here.
No, there absolutely is no second thoughts on this decision to come back and get the title in Classic. Very confident in the extra pounds that were given to the division. And, you know, I believe with my physique, I can display that the best and showcase. And I have to say, Chris, you were a great champion, man. But now it's time for me to get the third one this Saturday.
Bob, I have a question, because a lot of these guys, there seem to be fans of Chris Bumstead. You know, they make heart signs to Chris Bumstead. They invite Chris Bumstead to dinner. But Breon is the guy that actually challenges Chris Bumstead. Breon, is this the year that you're going to teach some of these young guys to finally challenge Chris Bumstead?
Teach some of the young guys to challenge Chris Bumstead?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a competition, and we're not up here to be friends. We're especially on this stage. We're up here to take each other's heads off. We train hard. This is the hardest sport in the world, and we are the toughest people because of it. And when we get on this stage, it is not time to love each other at all. It is time for battle. That's it.
Well, Breon, despite the training, and I've seen your videos, it might be the best I've seen you look in some years. So, fantastic. But you got to meet the stash, man. The mustache is everything. That's what C-Bum's all about. Look at Ramon Dino got it. Look at, he's got the beard going.
Did everything?
Urs is going to grow a mustache before Saturday. So, what happened, man? I thought you were going full C-Bum.
No, I'll take my mustache up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll grow it up here. But no, I think, we all have our different identities, our different looks, and more power to the mustache, but come Saturday, man, this title is going to sway in my direction for the third one. I've been hungry as ever for this one. I believe I displayed the most muscle. That's why it was a deal for me to possibly go to the 212. So I believe I display the most muscle up here, and to be added this extra weight, I'm really going to be able to display that muscularity-wise, density-wise, and then in turn conditioning-wise. So very, very excited about it. Let's rock.
All right, two-time Olympia champ Breon Anza. Can he make it 3? We're going to see. Phil Heath.
So, hold on. So, going back what you were saying about the added weight, I always feel like when you're a champion, the goalpost gets pushed a little bit further away at one point in time because of the domination that the person is exhibiting. We saw it with the challenge round back in the day with Ronnie Coleman. You even saw it with me at one point where the People's Champion thing, like where the fans became a judge at the table and stuff like that. And now with the added weight category, I just have to be honest. Chris, with all that said, with the added weight, would this actually shut the door on these guys? You've already shut it before, but when they actually move the goalpost up a little bit, because I believe you didn't have the same weight increase as others because of their height, I guess. Usually, in my opinion, it's mine, is done to try to even the playing field, as they would say. You're at this point now where I feel like this solidifies a whole new level of yourself. So again, what does that mean with all of that going into this show, and what are you going to do about it?
I mean, I can't lie, a little humorous. It was a bit of an honor when I heard it, because I heard people were complaining that there was an unfair advantage in the class of 6'1 to 6'2. And I was like, who's in that class? Who's complaining about that? So if these guys are complaining about unfair rules and they got to change it, that's cool with me. It's classic physique. We're not an open bodybuilding. It's not a weight cap kind of thing. I've established a look. I've established what I believe is the standard of classic physique. I've done it even more this year, and I'm showing that look. Doesn't matter how much I weigh. I could make my weight. I could give me 2 pounds, 8 pounds. I'm going to come in looking like classic physique Mr. Olympia and do what I do.
Fouad Abiad.
Breon is saying he's the most muscular out of the guys there, but he was 4th last year. And Urs is bigger, Ramon's bigger, and Chris's most recent pictures look like he's definitely bigger. So how are you going to jump back from 4th to 1st, Breon?
Well, first of all, getting technical with it, when you have to come down so low, you display a softer look when you have to lose muscle, okay? And we all know that as competitors up here, and I'm sure a lot of you know that up there in the audience as bodybuilders yourselves and competitors yourselves. So when you have to come down so low in weight, you have to sacrifice muscle, and that is not going to be your best look. That is you're going to display a softer look and a more tired look. Your body's not going to pop. So now 7 pounds is significant. Okay, it's significant, and I may have had to still lose a fiber or 2 of muscle, but in the significance still, not as much. and I'm able to hold on to more muscle, which in turn, holding on to more muscle is yielding itself to a better look, a fresher look with more muscle to display more maturity, more density, which it is one of my strong suits, for sure. More maturity, more density. So that's what I'm able to bring to the table. And from fourth to first is not a big deal at all. I did it my first year. From 2016 to 17, went from fourth to first. So to me, it is not a big leap at all. We will do it again.
Well, you got to get past 2 and 3, and that's the Dinosaurs and the Bears. So good luck with that. Derek Elgindy, final question.
I want to know from Ramon, what poses is he going to beat Chris Bumstead at the Mr. Olympia? Ramon, quais são as poses que você vai ganhar do Chris Bumstead no Mr. Olympia?
Qualquer uma que você escolher, meu irmão. Estou preparado para todas aqui.
He said, any pose that the judges choose, I'm going to beat them.
Well, Steve Weiner will be picking up a whole bunch of poses on that stage for these guys to show what they got. Thank you, Tarek. Sean Ray, final question.
Let's do it right now.
Who's that? Flex? Hey, pipe down. Who's that? It's Flex Wheeler out there, folks. Trying to rabble-rouse up. You got a question, Flex?
Man, all this damn talk is cheap, man. We used to peel right then back in the days. Somebody, if you bought yours, if you really bought it, peel or shut up.
Flex Wheeler says talk is cheap. Who wants to show something out here? Anybody? You know what? Taylor beats all of you guys, all right? So at least she got out here. Sean Ray, final question.
Sean Clarita, you're the second smallest person on the panel next to Ariel, I think. You got Ariel beat. After this competition, will you consider going in more open competitions? Because you served a very good notice when you did go in the open category, especially at the Arnold Classic, which is commendable, what you did over there at that show, beating all those bigger guys. So following the Olympia, win, lose, or draw, do you think the open is realistic for you to continue pursuing?
Absolutely. You know, obviously this focuses on this weekend's Olympia, getting a third title, spending some time with my family, and then we'll see what the future holds. But for sure, I would love to do some more open competitions in the near future.
No, I'm good.
Phil Heath.
I'm good.
Actually, let me get to the end. Ron Harris, final question, sir.
It's for Chris Bumstead. Chris, you trained for your first 4 Olympia wins. I want to say you're the most popular bodybuilder on Instagram with 19.8 million followers. Wait, 20? Wait, it's 21 now, 21 million. But you have so many people coming up to you in the gym while you're trying to train for the Olympia, trying to take pictures, talk. And you're a nice guy and you've always accommodated everyone. But this year, you built your own gym. You've trained in private, no distractions. What difference did that make in your training, in your focus for this Olympia?
I mean, it was a very selfish and beautiful thing I had this year to have that private gym, and it was a lot of fun. I got to just train with my friends and focus and do what I do. And I think regardless of where I'm at, I could be at a gym with a barbell, overseas with some dumbbells. I'm going to get the work done and do what I do. But I mean, every edge I can get, I'm going to take it. I built that private gym and got to work, and it really helped me focus my mind. And as I was saying before, and just enjoying the journey, I could go in there, I could be quiet, I could play my music, I could be present, and I could just enjoy every single workout. And I remember getting under the bar, squatting, doing this, and be like, I got 2 more leg days. Just feel this, enjoy this. This is so fun right now to be this strong, this lean, to be working towards such a difficult, beautiful goal. And allowed me to just be more present in everything I was doing, train my ass off, and go after number 5. So hopefully it helps, and I didn't need it, but it made it more fun.
All right, Lenda Murray. Final question, Lenda.
Final question.
Final question.
I know he's been saying final question.
You could just make a statement. It doesn't have to be a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Andrea? You ready? Detroit. Mm-hmm. Detroit. Yes.
Detroit representing in the house. Lenda
Detroit
Murray.
representing. That's it. They're ready.
So, Lenda, just from your own perspective, do you root around to beat your mark, or you kind of hope maybe at around 7 or so it kind of starts to fade off a little bit?
You know what? She's such an awesome champion, man. She can do 10. I'm cool with it.
She might do 10.
That's
Sydney's going to do
straight.
10.
That's
I know
real.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
She represents.
Linda, appreciate
Simple.
you coming out today. It's great to have this celebrity panel. Phil Heath, you get the final word, my friend, of course. You know what? You should come up here and show these people what give Flex Wheeler what he wants to see. Who wants to see Phil Heath down here, folks, huh?
That ain't happening. But what is going to happen is that someone's going to be holding that title. And I've been saying it once before. I guess we're going to have to ask the audience, who is going to win this Sandow title? I mean, Derek, you were talking about something earlier. You know, I respect how you carry yourself, but at some point in time, I really feel like you have to go to a dark place, use that fuel, let people know who the hell you are. Are you willing to do that on this stage? Because I can speak clearly about this in front of all these people here. When I used to win this show, Jim Mannion, Steve Weinberger, all these guys, they call these shots. The people that have won, they had to earn it. They had to take it. It ain't always nice. Sugar Shane Mosley was nice. Floyd Mayweather was ruthless. You got to be almost, and I'm just going to say it, excuse my language, you almost got to be a fucking asshole at some point in time because you're preventing someone for being immortalized in history, to having their name on that, to having $400,000 on that goes toward your family and your legacy and all that good stuff. So it ain't always going to be nice. So my question is, are you willing to not have to be nice while you are competing if that is required? It doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, like, you got to go out there and push people and do all this other stuff, but if it has to go there where a champion really needs to remind people, are you willing to do that, and what does that even feel like for you?
Very well said, Phil. And let me say this. You don't have to be nice, but we will be fair. And Steve Weinberger and Tyler Mannion and Sandy Williamson, they will give these athletes every opportunity that they can to showcase their physiques, to be compared fairly. And unlike the world right now, which has gone crazy with people picking sides and all this political climate, bodybuilding has never had any of that. They're looking at physiques on stage. They don't care what kind of following you got. They don't care where you're from. We've had champions from overseas. We've had champions from right here in our own backyard. These judges will put these athletes through the paces, and they will have to earn the title of Olympia champion. Folks, I want to thank our celebrity panel for coming out here today. Ron Harris, Linda Murray, Phil Heath, Sugar, Sean, Tarek, and of course, Fouad Abiad. Appreciate you guys coming out. And on behalf of Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, and our entire Olympia staff, welcome. The Olympia weekend has officially begun, folks. Tonight, meet the Olympians, folks, right here. You'll be able to meet all these guys, get their autographs, buy their memorabilia, anything else that they've got to offer. And, of course, tomorrow the action starts. We'll be at the Expo, folks, first thing in the morning. The Olympia weekend has begun.